Hi witches! So before we get into today's video, I just wanted to have a little announcement just to check in with everybody. But I am changing my upload schedule a little bit just to like fit my life a little bit better. I felt like I was just really rushing through stuff when I was uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm going to actually be uploading Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It just affords me a little bit more time and also like gives me a chance to like have a day off, because honestly I work like 7 days a week and that is really not vibing with me, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to like, I don't know, like follow my own advice and like find some balance in my life. So nothing is changing. I'm just switching the days around a little bit. No, I'm not subtracting any content. It's just slightly rearranged. But anyways, today's video is going to be a little bit more casual, a little bit more, you know, whatever. Because this is actually a topic that I think is really important, but not talked about a lot in witchcraft, and that is like this like archetype of the Maiden Mother Crone. Now that in and of itself is talked about a lot, and it's used as this kind of guide for practitioners, specifically practitioners who have a menstrual cycle. But I mean, I do have one, but I never really felt myself aligned with each of these archetypes. So like the Maiden was kind of like this young woman, probably prepubescent or before like having sex. So kind of that virginal figure, or that really young woman. Some people see the Maiden as being leading up to marriage or leading up to childbirth. Then the mother obviously being kind of that more mature adult woman who's kind of guiding new life into this world, who is there to give advice to other people, to be a mother, to be nurturing. And then finally, and so that is kind of like in her more fertile years, but like, you know, from first childbirth, I guess, until menopause. And then on the onset of menopause, you kind of see this archetype of the crone, which is personally my favorite, to be honest with you. But that's kind of like this wise woman, this person with a lot of knowledge about, you know, life, who can, you know, guide the way even for the mother figure, etc., etc. Now, I totally respect this archetype, and if that works for you, love it. I am so happy for you, because I think that it actually does have a lot of significance, and I think a lot of people can align themselves with these kind of figures, especially if you are someone who menstruates, or is someone who is looking to become a mother, or looking to start a family, or maybe are a mother, or etc., right? However, regardless of the fact that I have a menstrual cycle, I don't want kids. So for me, I'm just like, I guess I'm gonna be a maiden like forever. I've seen people equating this to like the male version, which is like sun, father, sage, or something like that, which is also super cool. And if you are a male or identify that way, or maybe are non-binary and prefer that explanation or that triplicity, that is absolutely fine. And I would love for you to use that. Like I'm trying to make it very clear that I'm not judging anybody in this video, but neither of those things really work for me. I feel like I'm kind of in this in-between space where I'm just like, not mother, but also not father. Do we have a weird aunt category, or a weird, like, not a weird uncle category? That has different connotations. I was talking to my friend Taylor, and I mentioned, but in a conversation with my friend Taylor, she had like mentioned that she was also kind of struggling with this archetype, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already making a video about that. So that's this video. Hello, Taylor, if you're watching this, what's up? I hope your cruise is great. But the archetype, or like the triplicity that I tend to, you know, feature my life around is that of the novice, the creator, and the guide. And I think that this is something that can be applied to a wide range of things, and not just one's life or one's spirituality or one's spiritual path. So the novice, let's talk about that. So just like the Maiden, the novice is someone who is kind of new to the world that they are entering into. I would say that, you know, when I left college and went into the professional world, I would consider myself in my novice phase when it came to my career and my profession, right? So I was in that phase for about 3 years of my life when I was working in corporate. I feel like I've moved a little bit out of that into the creator phase, which is our next one, now that I've kind of realized like what I do and what I don't like in a workplace. And this is just an example, but you can kind of apply these archetypes, I think, to a lot of areas in one's life, but this is just an example. But now that I've figured out like kind of what does and doesn't work for me, I feel like I'm able to better express myself and to create beauty and all sorts of good stuff in this world. So that's kind of where I feel like I'm kind of hitting this peak of like creative energy, of energy in general, just to like go out and do things that I feel like maybe, you know, when I hit retirement age, whatever that might be, I'll move into more of that guide like figure, I guess, and just be better equipped to help people who might have been in my situation before, you know, in creating their own business or being a talking head on the internet. I don't know. To recap what the characteristics of each archetype are. The novice is kind of like this person at the beginning of their journey. They're not really sure what they want to do. They may not have all of the information or the facts that they need to make like smart decisions or good decisions. But these mistakes actually help them learn and help them kind of move into the next phase of their life, which is the creator phase, where they've figured all this stuff out. They figured out what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and like what they truly want to do, even if it's like in that moment or whatever that might be, because it can change. I'm not saying you have to like, you know, cement yourself to a path. But when you are in that kind of expansive creative phase where you are just kind of like energetic and vibrant, I kind of see this as people being in their like, I don't know, like mid to late 20s to like mid to late 40s. I don't know, but you can, this is like that's like the figure that I have in my brain. However, if you feel that way and you are 87 years old, I love you. Thank you for watching. Finally, we enter into that guide phase of our lives, I guess, where we kind of have learned all the things, we've done a lot of stuff, we've had a lot of experiences, and now we're ready to kind of take that knowledge and give it back into our community, right? So we are speaking that back into, you know, the world. And in some ways, I feel like I am definitely a mix of all three of these, like at once, where like in certain parts of my life, I feel like I have gotten to that guide stage. Like for example, witchcraft, like I feel like I have a pretty good handle on it. Absolutely, I am still learning, and I will never be like, I have learned everything that there is to learn about witchcraft. No, but I do know enough about it to like put things out on the internet and feel comfortable and confident in what I'm saying, because I have spent almost half of my life learning this and really being in this world and learning different systems of magic and different techniques and all sorts of good stuff. So hopefully you guys see me that too. You might not, I don't know. When it comes to like life as a whole and just like existing as a human being in the 21st century, I very much feel like a novice, because I'm still figuring stuff out. Like I'm not even old enough to rent a car, and for whatever reason I feel like that is just like peak like adult thing to do. So I haven't even hit that yet. I just feel like I keep getting like blindsided by stuff where I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like health insurance, what the hell are you talking about? Like why do we pay what? And premiums, like how? You know, so it's like stuff like that, you know what I mean? So this is kind of my personal definition. You are free to use it. I am sure there are other people who have something kind of similar. But if you are feeling the same way as me, I would love to chat with you guys. I hope this kind of makes sense, and I hope it makes people feel better if you are also kind of just like, I don't know, like I just don't really feel like a maiden right now, you know what I mean? Like I totally get it. So to all of my like non-binary folks, maybe my trans folks, men and women, everybody, hello, I'm all inclusive here on this channel, of course. If you're not vibing with that, you do not have to use the Maiden, Mother, Crone archetypes or the like Father, Son, Sage archetypes in your practice. And the wonderful thing about witchcraft, and the thing that makes this spirituality, the spiritual path or practice, just so I think vibrant and unique, is because everyone's paths are different, and that is what makes it so special. So just my 2 cents. I rambled on for far longer than I expected to, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.